Hello world, Dave here, you may call me Modon Joe. Welcome back to Let's Play Cthulhu Saves the World! And we are off and running yet again. Let's continue exploring Raleigh, this ancient, buried city. Oh, not so much buried as sunken, but... Wait. So where's Atlantis then? Probably something entirely unrelated. We will never see it. No, really, we won't ever see it. I'm not pulling your leg like I've done a couple of times already. But yeah, there's a few things I want to pick up around here. There's some interesting enemies that we still have yet to see. Tough enemies too. They're actually getting solo enemies are actually starting to get up there in terms of HP and how much damage they can really do to you. It's like fighting miniature bosses, except they come out of the woodwork in frequent numbers. But anyway. For the most part, really, I'm just looking for a few treasures around here, like that one down there. We'll get to that later. There's something a little more pressing that's on my radar, honestly, than that one, than that thing. I believe that's just money, anyway. That money is probably It's really a dick move now that this game actually throws chests full of money at you. They did that in Breath of Death as well, and that was really... It just really bit on me, and especially more so in Breath of Death, mostly because that's what every chest there in the final dungeon was either money or, well, a potion. And in that chest there's an antimatter claw, so, you know, if you missed the one in the Astral Cave, well, we got one there. It's not bad. I mean, I've already shown you that I already said that I think that the antimatter claw is probably the best thing we can get. So anyway, no staircase? No stairway? Yeah, well, I guess Zeppelin's just not in the mood. Oh, but these guys again. Oh, boy. Well, I'm sure they've gotten tougher. Oh. 7 holy crystals. Yeah, I'm sure they got, like, a big group attack anyway. Yeah, these guys don't seem to listen. Didn't listen last time. They're not gonna listen this time. Alright, it's boss time. Let's go ahead and give these guys a swift kick in the nuts with everything that we got. I actually would probably not be adverse to using Brawn Assault, although it's still completely overpowered. I mean, it's the strongest attack we got before taking the combo into consideration. These guys haven't leveled up at all? What? Do you really need me to give you a strategy here? Come on, I'm actually just gonna cherry tap them with Call Kraken, but I honestly don't see the point in even bothering here. I mean, seriously, if you need a strategy against these guys, how the hell did you get this far? Yeah, well anyway, those guys are actually supposed to be recurring characters in this game, but the developers kind of plumb forgot about them. It happens, I guess. You know, when you're doing a two-man operation, you're like, okay, we got this Goldfish poop gang that we want to use frequently, and it's like, yeah, oh, that sounds like a good idea. And if it's only 2 people, it's a good chance that it'll slip out of someone's mind. I mean, if you got a large team, I can imagine that. I imagine you making that happen a lot more often. They claim they fixed that in the alternate story mode, but really all they did was make the girl of the party your second party member. Yeah, there's like the alternate story mode. By the way, I guess I could tell you is called Cthulhu's Angels. Take a guess what what one common trait all the characters have. I'm not gonna say it because, well, the reference should be freaking obvious, and yeah. They lampshaded it early on, honestly, though. But anyway, in this chest we get a black tome for October. This is easily her best tome. I hesitate to call it an armor because her defensive stuff is pretty well evenly split between her weapon and her weapon slot and her armor slot. I actually like that about her. But the black tome, it's probably best thing we'll ever get for her for the whole game. It easily tops the charts. Anyway, we got some more new enemies to deal with here. Dead dragons. These guys are immune to instant death. Just like a lot of the enemies here, honestly. Kind of a bummer that they give us an instant death. Well, a lot of the enemies that come at us 1-on-1 anyway. They are pretty annoying. They have they can poison the entire party, and they hit hard. They have a lot of HP, and that poison is not kind to us at all. Not kind. So this is gonna be a bit of a slog. Like I said, this is going to be like a miniature boss battle, honestly. We're going to be seeing this... Yeah, a few dungeons ago, this definitely would have been a boss battle. Now we got... now we're dealing with the bosses are just getting bigger and bigger, and we will be having to deal with you guys. But anyway, I believe they're weak to fire, so if you want to fireball them, or if you have picked up Rain of Fire, well, then this is going to go too well. And I should mention that I actually figured out what the hell Backstab does. It's actually based on the difference between your agility, between Paws's agility, and the agility of the enemies that you're fighting. So, as you saw earlier, it did respectable. Backstab did respectable damage early on, but now that we hit him with a slow strike from Umi there, well, watch how much damage Backstab's gonna do now. It's just gonna blow you away, ladies and gentlemen. I can't believe some of the damage that Cthulhu's attacks are doing now, though. He is really a haymaker. But yeah, just watch this. 8,000 damage! Wow! I mean, it took Cthulhu like let's see, a insane enemy with Cthulhu's sword amplifying that damage. On top of that, he had to hit their weakness. Meanwhile, Paws just backstab after a slow strike is like, nothing. But yeah, that chest has almost 100,000 gold. The way to spin our faces, we have nothing to spend it on now. I mean, Breath of Death, they put like the final shop in the game right next to the final dungeon, and well, there wasn't too much useful stuff there, honestly, although it was still hard to buy everything. Anyway, here we got a new enemy here, a Grim Reaper. These guys were actually a boss in Breath of Death. This guy was actually a boss in Breath of Death, so which is interesting to say the least. Although I don't know how that works when everyone in the game is already dead, or undead as the case was. Whatever. I never thought about that until now. I just kind of accepted the game at face value, which is... that Breath of Death is not a game that you accept at face value. Neither is this, really, but it works out. And yeah, if your speed's not up to snuff, then... if the difference in speed isn't up to snuff with Backstab, then it's just not gonna do as much damage as it advertises. So, yeah. But yeah, Grim Reaper's got some interesting attacks. He's resistant to Dark type, obviously. He's not weak to fire. He's just if you bring in a Dacker though, or a Sharp, you can probably just Holy Strike him, and that'll work reasonably well as well. But overall, these guys, this guy is not too much of a bother. Just go in with all you got. And yeah, with these larger enemies, you can easily just hit them with Slow Strike and watch his Paws just backstabs them into oblivion. I mean, that damage is just obscene. But yeah, anyway, here we get Umi happens to learn Cute Pose. There's two different variants here. I don't like the combo finisher variant. I mean, I'd like to get my buffs up early and then worry about dealing everything. And not to mention resetting the combo meter just to give Umi a really big buff. I don't know, that doesn't sound like it'd be worth it to me. If you found it useful, go ahead. I mean, I'm not going to stop you telling me if it was useful, but honestly, I'll stick with the straight 50% buff everything at the beginning of battle combat, because 50% buff everything is buff all stats is, well, certainly more than... I mean, Dacker gets a spell later on that buffs all stats, and that's still crazy enough as it is. I mean, if either version is crazy, how about I take one that obviously targets the whole party, because why not? But it's still damn good. Speaking of Dacker, here we got the Insanity Staff. This one I would definitely classify as a side grade to the Holy Staff. I mean, if you like to have Dacker whack people over the head with his staff, well then this is the staff for you. It induces insanity just with the physical attack, and it has a much higher strength stat. But honestly, I like using it using his weapons to buff his magic, so I'm going to be sticking with the Holy Staff, and plus it buffs the damage of Holy, so I do not see the reason not to go with the Holy Staff over the Insanity Staff. I mean, it has its uses. I mean, inducing insanity without spending any MP is certainly something to look forward to, but at this point in the game, Cthulhu is just so fast that you could probably just have him use Insane Strike and you'd be better off. Dacker's still pretty slow. I mean, in spite of the fact that, you know, he's supposed that, I guess most people like their healers to be fast, so that way they can be quick on the draw, get the party up to full in case of emergency, but, you know, it's just better off this. The Insanity Staff is not my preferred weapon of choice for Dacker there. But yeah, this is certainly turning out to be one hell of a show, and we still got more to go of this dungeon, ladies and gentlemen. Don't believe me? We still got a lot more to go. We've got bosses to fight. We got stairways to climb. We got a whole mess of enemies to deal with, and we still got 10 random battles left to go, and I'm sure there's more treasure to find. But until then, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna have to just call it here, because I can't imagine us going any further. So until next time, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Dave. Remember, the best is yet to come. Take care, everybody. Wait, I had something better planned.